Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. My name is Kieran, and this episode is going to be a very short, sharp, and sweet episode, and it's only just going to be involving myself this episode. But there are a few things there to which I just would like to discuss. First, I just would like to say thank you to everybody who had the chance, who has listened to my podcast, Depth Exchange. Um, Honestly, when I started out on this journey, I didn't expect anybody to ever listen to it, and to have people listening to my podcast, it really does mean a lot to me. Really does mean the world to me. So I just would like to say to everybody there that has listened to an episode or even just a couple of minutes or a couple of clips, thank you, and I appreciate it. But this isn't the end. This is the end of the podcast. The podcast is just beginning. I love having conversations with people, a wide variety of people, as I'm always a firm believer that you can learn absolutely anything from anyone. But I am going to be making a couple of changes to the podcast. Um, Firstly, the podcast is going to have a new name. So if you're already listening, the podcast name has already been changed, or it's going to change in the not too distant future. And the reason as to why I'm changing it to this here is because I love having conversations with people, but I also love talking with people who are in the startup and business world, and people who are also like entrepreneurs, and just a wide range of people themselves. And I just love that. And that's just something there to which me, myself, I want to, you know, grow that. I just really want to grow that. I really want to learn a lot in that area. And that's just something there as to which I'm really excited about going to that there in the future. But there are going to be some episodes where I am going to be having people who aren't in the business or the entrepreneurial world, but they might be very few and far between them. But I am excited to be sitting around the desk and also um, online, sitting around the desk and just sitting and talking uh, with these entrepreneurs, with these business people about startups, about business, about even just life in general, and even just overall other aspects of life. Because whilst I am having a shift in focus slightly a little bit more towards business and startups and entrepreneurship, I still also want to have that human element factor, because because at the end of the day we're all people. At the end of the day we're all human. We're all people. We all have lives to live. We all are just more than our careers. There's always something there, that there is always something else other than our than our careers. And just even just sitting around and talking with people, even just having even just a brief 5 or 10 minute conversation about that in the podcast, would would be great. But I just wanted to just sort of sit there, and I just wanted to just sort of sit here and say thank you to my current listeners, and also I just would like to say thank you to my future listeners out there. That this journey is just beginning, and I'm still eager to learn. I'm still eager to grow, and I'm ready to see what the world is going to. I'm excited to see what the world has to offer going forward. I'm also going to be doing a few change up episodes as well, rather than me myself being just in the studio. There are going to be potentially some episodes where I might be at home on a Google Meets call, or there might be episodes where I might be out walking, or I might be out walking with someone, or even just out in a coffee shop, meeting them face to face and whatnot. Um, so that's going to be pretty exciting. There's going to be a few exciting things there, what I'm going to be doing for my podcast going forward, um, from now on. But I just thought I'd give just a quick, brief message, and just to say thank you. Now, there have been some episodes that I have recorded before the change with Depth Exchange. you can tell I will be keeping the Depth Exchange logo, or I mean like the Depth Exchange cover on those episodes, and the ones that are of those covers from Depth Exchange will, will still say the same on the cover. So you can definitely tell which ones are pre the change and which ones aren't, um, and whatnot. But yeah, I'm very excited as to what's going to go forward there in the future. I'm going to try and see if I can record a couple of episodes, um, video them, and try and see if I can upload them, as well along with the audio, as well as even just a few other things as well. But yeah, but I'm very excited as to what could be going on in the future. Whether that's me talking to them in person, whether that's um, me walking and talking with someone, having a conversation with them while we're walking, me having a conversation with them in a coffee house, me in the studio, or just me online or whatnot. There's going to be some very exciting things there in the future, and I'm very excited for that there. So I just thought I'd give you guys all a bit of a heads up that I'm going to be trying my absolute best to go forward with this podcast and to see what else this has to bring and whatnot. And I also would just like to say thank you so much for listening and just being on my journey so far. My journey is not over yet. Nobody's journey is over yet. But and I still have a lot to learn, and I'm very, very eager to learn. My next guests for season 2, I'm very excited for them. I'm very excited to see on who I'm going to be sitting and talking with and having an interesting conversation with. I'm very excited for that there, and yeah, but that there concludes this episode. It's arguably my shortest episode I've ever done. But as I said to you guys at the beginning, I want to keep it very short, sharp, and sweet. But I just thought I'd give you guys a bit of an update about the podcast. How I still want to have conversations with a wide variety of people, with interesting people as well. But I also but I also want to talk with business peoples and entrepreneurs, and that's where I want to sort of be focusing a little bit more of that there as well. And I want to have interesting conversations with them, but I also want to just talk to them not just about business, but also about uh, life and stuff outside of business as well. Because as I'm a believer, we're all human. Our careers don't define us. There's a lot more that defines us as people, and that's what I also want to talk about. So even if it is a 5 minute conversation in the podcast, talking about life and a few other things there, that really does fascinate me as well. So I am very excited about that. But I'm very excited about the conversations that I am having. That I'm going to be having in the future, and I'm very excited for the future episodes that I'm going to be releasing. So I would just like to give you all a heads up, and I would like to say thank you for all that. And yeah, I appreciate all the support you guys have given me so far, and the support I've had so far with. I really do appreciate it, and I really do thank you all for it. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next episode, in the next release, in the next release of this Revamp podcast. So thank you all again.